I'm not sure I even want a wedding.
Come on, don't freak out. It's gonna be fine.
Something just feels wrong. I'm tense all the time, my nerves are shot.
Of course you are. A wedding is a huge deal. If you're not nervous before that, when are you supposed to be? I'm a wreck too. The hair on my arms stands up every time someone says big day.
I don't mean that. I wanted something quiet. Just at home.
It will be just family. Well, and a few important people. But that's what they're for, you invite them to big events. Enough already, stop shaking.
Easy for you to say. You and your mom invited half your family tree, close and distant. I don't even have anyone to invite.
Hey, sunshine, they're all gonna be your family now too. Every last one of them. You grew up with nobody, and now you'll be the star of the whole clan. They'll all treat you with love and respect.
I don't know about that. Why would they care about me?
Because you'll be my wife, that's why. People will respect you, they'll love you. Now stop panicking. Better think again, are you sure you don't want the dress?
Oh no. It's gorgeous, I know. But I have no idea how to walk in something like that. Every time I try, I trip over the skirt and nearly fall on my face. If I had like a couple years to practice.
It's fine. The pantsuit looks great too. It's modern, stylish. And my mom will just sell the dress later, don't worry. She'll probably sell the suit too if you don't spill anything on it at the reception.
Lisa flinched.
I was hoping I could keep it.
We'll see. You can't plan everything with weddings. Anything can happen.
He grinned.
I remember when Bobby got married, his suit looked like it went through a shredder by the end of the night. And he only did, like, 2 reception games. Well, okay, he did down half a bottle, climbed over somebody's fence, then got into a fight.
Are you trying to scare me?
What? No. I'm calming you down. You're not gonna be climbing fences or picking fights. You're basically the perfect girl.
Andrew.
I'm kidding. It'll be fine. And if Uncle Owen doesn't show up, it'll be perfect. He is not our kind of people. I still don't get how he ended up related to us at all. Then again, Aunt Annie always had interesting taste.
Aunt Annie.
My dad's sister. She's the one with the big hair, always teased up sky high and dyed cherry red. Uncle Owen told her it looked good once, and she's worn that exact hairdo for, like, 15 years.
About 3 weeks before the wedding, when planning really kicked into high gear, Andrew and his mom took over. They were going to handle everything: venue, food, decorations. And at the same time, they'd introduce Lisa to all the relatives ahead of time.
Otherwise you'll spend your whole wedding whispering, "Who's that? And who's that one?"
They went at it fast and hard, like they'd been training for this their whole lives. It terrified Lisa. Growing up in group homes and a state-run youth shelter, she was used to having no one. The idea of suddenly having dozens of family members hovering around her was overwhelming. Linda was generous with descriptions. For every cousin, aunt, and half-uncle, she had a little character sketch ready. And the more Lisa heard, the more uneasy she felt. These people weren't just strangers. In a few weeks, they'd be her only family. And put mildly, she didn't like them. The only one who didn't sound awful was Uncle Owen. Which, as it turned out, put her completely at odds with her future in-laws. So Lisa's anxiety on the eve of the wedding wasn't really about the flowers or the food. She just didn't want that kind of family. And the more she listened, the more she understood why they were so eager to marry Andrew to her specifically. They were investing a lot of time and effort. She could feel it. And they weren't the type to just let that investment walk away. Kids who age out of the system don't exactly step into a dream life. Sure, compared to everyone else in the group home, some get lucky. The lucky ones are the kids whose parents get their act together and win them back after a year or two. Or the ones whose relatives, an aunt, a grandparent, an older sibling, step up when the parents lose their rights. Then there are the adopted kids. That's supposed to be the jackpot, though it doesn't always turn out like a movie. Still better than a bunk bed in a crowded dorm with a different caseworker every year. And then there's a weird, rare category, the ones who age out with actual property waiting for them. By law, the state is supposed to help every foster kid get some kind of housing when they age out. A tiny studio in a rough neighborhood, a slot on a long wait list, something. But when that will happen, and what exactly that housing will look like, only God knows. One thing is guaranteed, it's not going to be a luxury loft downtown. So on that backdrop, a kid who turns 18 and actually has keys to a place with their name on the deed? That's practically winning the lottery. Lisa was one of those rare winners. Her parents had died when she was little. Their 3-bedroom apartment in the city had been sealed as an estate asset and then basically forgotten. On top of that, her grandma had left her a big old farmhouse in a nearby rural town. The apartment sat untouched while Lisa bounced through the system. The county sealed it, no one lived there, no one changed anything. The farmhouse, though, had neighbors. Old folks who remembered Lisa's grandma and couldn't stand watching the place rot. They'd mow the grass, keep an eye on the windows, chase off bored teens. They were just decent people, waiting for the granddaughter to finally grow up and show up. So at 18 Lisa didn't just age out of foster care as a newly trained industrial seamstress. She stepped out as a property owner, by her peers' standards, a rich girl. Among the kids she grew up with, Lisa never even considered looking for a boyfriend. She shut down every half-serious attempt before it started. It wasn't that they were bad people. But she knew what the system did to you. Everyone who came out of it carried some kind of crack in their soul. Maybe it didn't show right away. Maybe it took years. But it was there. And cracks eventually break. Lisa wasn't naive enough to believe people change for the better over time. Staying the same is already a miracle. So any potential future husband, in her mind, had to have what she never had, a complete, functioning family. No group home kids. Period. Not that she walked out of the youth shelter clutching a bridal magazine anyway. She had other things to deal with, cleaning and reclaiming the apartment, deciding what to do with the farmhouse, getting a job, maybe going to school. The apartment took a whole month of scrubbing, repair work, and hauling out old junk. The farmhouse was easier. Through the neighbors, Lisa found some city folks looking for a summer rental. The neighbors got a cut and a little extra for keeping an eye on things. Lisa got a small but steady passive income. Work, at least, wasn't hard to find. Sewing floors always needed hands.
Show up on time, don't fight the time clock, and you'll get your paycheck and a bonus.
That's what the owner of a small garment shop told her when he hired her. Lisa applied to a part-time fashion design program at the local community college, something close enough to what she already did, but with a future. She wasn't planning to go anywhere until she had that diploma in her hands. The downside of years of emotional starvation is that when you finally get around people, you talk too much. Lisa didn't even notice when she spilled to the girls at work and a couple classmates about the apartment and my grandma's old place out in the country. She said it, laughed it off, and forgot. But the ones who needed to hear it, heard. Andrew appeared in her life, by accident. During an exam session, classes ran late. By the time they wrapped up for the night, it was close to 11. One evening, as she walked out of the college building with a friend, a car pulled up. The friend's boyfriend was driving, with another guy riding shotgun. The guy at the wheel hopped out to hug her friend, and the passenger turned out to be Andrew. They chatted for a minute. Then the friend turned to Lisa.
Hey Lisa, you don't live far, right? Drew can drop you. Safer than the train this late.
Andrew drove the couple home first. Then he turned toward Lisa's neighborhood. Halfway there, he shifted in his seat and winced.
Okay, sorry, but I am not making it to my place like this. Any chance I can use your bathroom? I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a pee behind a dumpster guy.
Of course. I'm not about to leave the hero who saved me from the subway stranded in a crisis on my doorstep.
He came in, used the bathroom, made a silly joke about the nice kitchen, admired her thrift shop decor a little too long. The next day, her friend skipped class. Andrew did not. He pulled up to the curb outside the college and leaned across the passenger seat with a grin.
How about I give you another ride home, and maybe tonight I actually earn that cup of tea?
It was half a joke, half a clear hint. From there, things moved faster than Lisa expected. Dates blurred into nights in. Andrew started staying over, once in a while, which turned into 4 nights a week. They went to the county clerk's office together, filled out the marriage license paperwork, and walked out with a date 3 months away. By that time, there wasn't really anything left to think about. Andrew's toothbrush lived in her bathroom. His clothes hung in her closet. His shoes waited by her front door. Meeting her future mother-in-law happened right when wedding prep kicked into overdrive.
Don't you worry, sweetheart, we'll give you a proper wedding. Andrew told me you aged out of foster care, no relatives, and all that. Well, we've got family to spare. You're gonna have relatives for every holiday on the calendar. Come on, let's start the guest list.
I was thinking something really small. Just quiet.
It will be like home, just our people. And maybe a couple of useful connections. You know how it is now, without the right contacts, you're nobody.
Linda rattled off names, relationships, little comments about each person. Andrew nodded along approvingly. Lisa didn't even try to keep up. There were too many of them.
If we can keep it under 70, we'll beg Mike to squeeze us into his banquet hall. If it's more, we go to Gary's restaurant. Don't worry, we'll lean on the right relatives, they'll make room. I'll hit up my sister, she'll hook us up with the best cooks. She's an accountant at that big hotel. They've got a fancy restaurant. No, they won't give us the space, but we can poach their kitchen crew for a night. If Vera loses their bonuses or docks them for something, they'll crawl to us on their knees. Plus, we can probably snag some of their servers. Vera will figure it out. She'll run it all through payroll as overtime shifts and they'll come running. Her husband will get us meat straight off the warehouse truck. And if we're lucky, like last time, he'll mark it as spoiled on their end and bring it to us fresh for free.
Lisa stared, half impressed, half horrified at how thoroughly Linda had everyone mapped out. Cars. A second cousin had a small limo company. Gas. A nephew worked night shifts as an assistant manager at a gas station. Veggies and fruit would come from a cousin who managed a small farm co-op. They'd either write it off or label it as a sponsorship. Decorations for the banquet hall would be handled by Andrew's other cousin, an art school student, who would bring her theater major friends to run the entertainment.
Can you believe it? She got into theater? Total airhead. But hey, at least she's good for something.
In the end, the entire wedding was going to be assembled out of free labor and favors from relatives, none of whom Linda actually seemed to plan on asking. She talked like she'd simply inform everyone what they were doing, and that was that. And of course, every person whose labor was being volunteered also went on the guest list.
We are not inviting Uncle Owen. I don't care if he's married to Dad's sister, I don't want to see his face at my wedding.
Oh really? And you plan on telling that to Aunt Annie yourself, or should I be the one to blush on your behalf?
I vote you. You're the one with the authority. And I'm not saying it to his face. You can tell Aunt Annie. She knows nobody likes him anyway.
So who is Uncle Owen?
Lisa asked cautiously later.
He's completely useless. Greedy to the bone. Total capitalist pig. Used to work out of state on oil rigs and pipeline jobs, making stupid money. But instead of doing something normal with it, buying a house for his wife, a nice car, he shoved it all into savings accounts and lent it out, always with interest. Kept Aunt Annie basically on a leash. No extra dress, no vacations, nothing. He is cheap. When he finally got tired of traveling, he pulled all the money out, called in all the loans, and started a construction company. Now he makes more than we can imagine. And every time anyone in the family has asked for help, cash, building materials, whatever, he shuts them down.
Just like that.
Yep. Sends us straight to the notary. No contract, no money. Wants full repayment for materials. He never does that family helps family thing. Never.
From where Lisa stood, that didn't make him a bad person. He just didn't want to be used. Compared to Linda's wedding plan, where everyone's time and labor were already quietly assigned without a word about payment, Uncle Owen's insistence on contracts and clear terms looked honest. Linda had never once mentioned paying anyone for anything. Family meant free help. Lisa might have swallowed all that and told herself that's just how big families work, if not for one side comment she overheard while sitting in Andrew's parents' kitchen a few days later. They thought she was in the bathroom.
When they get married, we'll put the apartment in his name. Then we'll run all the utility discounts through Grandma's disability status. That'll cut their bills in half. And we'll have to clear out those people at the farmhouse. It's a vacation home, not a rental. Family should be using that place, getting out of the city. We can put the deed in Andrew's cousin's name from my side, the one who's on disability too. More benefits.
They weren't asking. They were deciding what was best for the family, and Lisa's home and farmhouse were pieces on their board. An icy knot started forming in Lisa's stomach. This wasn't just about a big wedding and a noisy clan. It was about her being expected to hand over everything she owned for the good of the family.
No.
In that case, I can't proceed with the ceremony.
The woman from the county clerk's office snapped the folder with their paperwork shut, lifted it off the lectern, and disappeared through a side door, heels clicking sharply. There was a stunned silence.
That's my girl.
The shout came from the back of the little room where family and friends were packed in. Everyone turned. Uncle Owen, short, stocky, in a cheap but clean blazer, stood up, laughing.
Good for you, kid. They get nothing from you. Not the apartment, not the farmhouse. Smart move, spotting the leeches this early. Young, but not stupid. Takes brains to see through a hungry herd like that. You ever need work, come find me. I'll help you out. Proper family help.
Lisa didn't wait to see Linda's face. Under Owen's loud, careless laughter, she bolted from the ceremony room, pant legs swishing, eyes burning. No one came after her. No one knocked on her door that day, or the next. Andrew didn't show up in person. He just called once and left a short message.
Put my stuff out in the hallway.
Lisa deleted it without replying. She wouldn't have let him back into her apartment even if he begged. The thought of him walking around her place again made her physically sick. Her own courage scared her. She kept thinking.
I could have just gone through with it. I was one yes away from never getting out.
But another thought came right behind it.
It would have been so much worse if I hadn't stopped it.
Owen kept his word. A while after she finished her design program and got her diploma, he called.
There's an opening for a technical designer at one of my bigger plants. Good pay, real benefits. You want it?
When she hesitated, he added.
Just so we're clear, it'll be on regular terms. No special treatment. You work well, you'll be treated well. You slack off, you're gone. Relative or not.
Lisa smiled into the phone.
Sounds perfect.